The rotor is now all set to go. So we're going to put the rotor and coil back onto the movement. So here's the thing to look for. You have that gear right there coming out of the rotor. That's going to mesh with those gears right there. So when you're looking in that hole, I'll give you a closer picture. You can see those gears right there at the top. That's what the little gear off the rotor is going to mesh with. So what we can do is just take the rotor and put that little gear down in that hole and just kind of shift it around until they mesh. Doesn't take much. Now what we got to do is we have to put on the spreader posts. Now this is the later style, more common spreader posts that look like this. Now here's the thing. When you look at the coil, this is the front of the coil, and this is the back. And these things are going to go over these rivets, and this weird end is going to contact the coil on the front of the coil. And this one is going to go like that. And this one is going to go like that. But you can't see that when you're putting it on. So typically what I'll do is I'll just put them on, start the field screws in, and then as it starts to tighten the coil down, I'll take a screwdriver and push these in. So putting the coil back on with this kitchen clock, we just got to make sure this post right here goes through that hole, and then the end of the rotor is going to go right in there. And it is sometimes kind of a sloppy thing, but that's where it's supposed to be. And once we get it there, we can put the field screws down in here. And when I say sloppy, it's like sometimes things don't line up the first time, whatever. I just got to mess with it until they do. What I'll sometimes do is take these kind of toothpicks and put them down, so I make sure that it's in the right place, and then gently remove it, put the field screw in. It makes it a little bit easier. So see if we can do that with this one over here. There we go. Okay. So now what we want to do is just snug these field screws down to the base plate. It doesn't have to, over torque them, but just get them nice and snug. They got lock washers on them anyway, so it's going to help hold them in place. So I get it tightened down to about right there, where I can still move these. And then this one goes on the top. So push that in there. Put the field screw down a little bit more. And this one, you push it in. And tighten it up. Okay, so now that I've got this all situated, I'm gonna just check and see. I don't really think that the field posts need to necessarily be in the right position. That was how it was intended, so I just put it back that way. But what I want to do now, and I've got the coil and rotor back on there, is I just want to throw this on test and make sure that everything's still operating, because once I put it all back together again, I don't want to find out I have a problem. I've got to tear it all back down again. So I'm going to set it up in my vise, and I'm just going to take the sweep hand and place the sweep hand on the shaft, and then I'm going to take my leads and connect these leads to each of the coil terminals, and we see we got it running there. And so that's looking pretty good. I need to get around here to get a firmer grip on the exposed terminal. There we go. Okay, so there you can see that it's turning. I don't hear any noise. I'm liking that a lot. So might just let it turn a couple times, and then I'm ready to take the sweep hand off and then do the face, the hands, the lens, the bezel, and put everything back in the case.